undefeated. Just one team remaining in the NFL, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs at 7-0. Our weather in KC, temperature currently at 55 degrees, supposed to get up to about 60, 61 in the early afternoon. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. The Chiefs and the Browns. Rob Chudzinski, first year as a head coach in the NFL, his 20th year as a coach overall. And Andy Reid, 15th year as a head man, signed a 5-year deal to be the head coach of the Chiefs. And he's got this team at 7-0 after the 17-16 win over Houston last week. Chiefs have won the toss. Billy Cundiff kicking it off to Quentin Demps. We're underway here at Arrowhead. Demps, the return man for KC, and stood up just as he crossed the 10-yard line by Batamosi on special teams. Alex Smith leads the Kansas City offense onto the field, and all this guy has been doing the last 3 years is winning.
But he has not thrown a touchdown pass in his last 3 games, and as a result, the Chiefs have done poorly in the red zone, and he told us that has been a big point of emphasis this week in practice. He knows he must be more accurate when given the scoring opportunities, and with his defense, he gets a lot of opportunities.
So that's 104 straight passes without a touchdown for Smith. The longest current streak, Josh Freeman, who's gone 111 straight. Charles sets up as a receiver. Smith operating out of the gun. On first down, works it underneath. Anthony Fasano. Met by DeQuell Jackson. It's an 8-yard pickup. Let's check out the offense for Kansas City. Chiefs come in ranked number 19 overall. They've got the number 1 overall pick on the right side. Rookie out of Central Michigan, Eric Fisher. Backs and receivers, Dwayne Bowe. That groin injury, Bowe is in there. Could see a little bit more potentially of A.J. Jenkins and Chad Hall and Junior Hemingway. They're all in play depending upon how Bowe looks out there with the groin trouble. 2nd and 2 now. Once again out of the gun. Smith, precision to Donnie Avery. Angled out of bounds. And a flag comes down. Joe Hayden over there defensively. 8-yard pickup. And they'll tack on some more after the penalty.
Yeah, late hit out of bounds by Joe Hayden, and that will give the Chiefs the ball 50 more yards.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 23, late hit out of bounds. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Kansas City.
Our referee, Clete Blakeman, here today in Kansas City.
Good block on the perimeter by Dwayne Bowe here as he takes out screen. But there's the late shot, that 8-yard catch. Add 15 to it. Now the Chiefs almost to midfield.
1st and 10 Chiefs from the Kansas City 43-yard line.
So Kansas City, first possession of the day, first minute of action, and they're on the move. Double time except Fasano and McGrath. Running play. Charles slowed down and tripped up. T.J. Ward getting into the backfield. Defensively, Cleveland enters action. Number 7 in total defense, Desmond Bryant. It's been a good pickup from Oakland. Linebackers, DeQuell Jackson leading the team in tackles. T.J. Ward leads that aggressive young secondary for Cleveland. 2nd and 9. Smith, nobody home. 4 Cleveland defenders there. Junior Hemingway, he and Smith may not have been on the same page on that pass route.
Well, Hemingway only has 4 catches all year, and the Browns, they were right in that area. I'm not sure if Alex Smith wanted to throw that ball away, but Hemingway had no idea it was coming in his direction. But so far, that Chief offensive line doing a good job at giving Alex Smith protection, and he's getting the ball out of his hand very quickly.
Alex Smith, his record 26-5-1 as a starting quarterback the last 3 years with San Francisco and Kansas City. Charles in the backfield on a 3rd and 9, trying to convert here. Little dump off, set it up. Charles gets out in open space and turns it into a huge gain on the catch and run, 24 yards. Dexter McCluster with a key block to help spring Charles, who has more touches than anybody in the NFL this season.
It was a perfect call against the blitz. The screen pass to Charles with blockers out in front. Timing of that call by Doug Peterson, anticipating the blitz out of the Browns, and he burns that blitz with a perfect screen for 24.
Over 100 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown in each of his first 7 games this season. Only other player to do that, O.J. Simpson. Nile Davis Little shake and bake move across the 25. Hudson and Asamoah up front create an opening, 9-yard gain.
Now that's the key for Kansas City. Nobody has more touches in the league than Jamal Charles, so important, as Andy Reid told us yesterday, that they get Nile Davis involved in the offense. That was just his 15th carry of the season, but it was a good one, good for 9 yards.
7th play of the drive. Charles remains on the Kansas City sideline. 2nd and 1, a 4-receiver set. McCluster, the motion man. Ground game. Davis drilled right at the point of attack by Ataba Rubin. They are big up front, and they can rotate 7 or 8 different guys defensively.
Let's check out where big number 71 comes from. Lining up between the guard and the tackle on the offense's right side here.
2 from the Cleveland 24-yard line.
330 pounds and the ability to play defensive end, gets penetration and drops Davis for a loss.
So now 3rd and 2 for Kansas City. Charles and Sherman set up with Smith. Now Charles will shift out of the backfield. 3rd and short. Smith looking downfield. Low throw, incomplete. Try to hit Charles. And it's 4th down for the Chiefs.
And he's lucky he threw that ball so low, or that would have hit Joe Hayden right in the chest. As it is, I think it hit him at about the knee. Hayden almost picks this one off. Would have been his first pick of the year as he breaks on this ball. Ball thrown so low he can't get down and make the catch.
And it will be Ryan Suckup, 42-yard attempt. It's been so consistent since being drafted in the 7th round in 2009. Mr. Irrelevant that year, the final pick in the draft. From 42 yards away for Suckup. And he knocks it through. Kansas City's got a 3-0 lead. 11:22 mark. We're in the first quarter. Chiefs in front. 9 plays, 64-yard drive. Capped off by a Suckup 42-yard field goal. Charles had the big play, the 24-yard catch on a 3rd and 9. And now Suckup will kick it off to Travis Benjamin. Benjamin has 1 return this year for 86 yards. He has been fantastic on punt returns, but they don't use him all the time on kick returns. He's going to take it out, 5 yards deep. Benjamin slowed down and then brought down short of the 20-yard line by James Michael Johnson on special teams. Jason Campbell, his last start November of last year for Chicago in a loss to San Francisco 32-7.
He's played here at Arrowhead before, and he knows that he must keep his composure, not get antsy today, get the ball out of his hand quickly and realize that every drive's not going to be perfect, but it would be imperative for them to get off to a good start today to help quiet this crowd.
He replaces Brandon Whedon, who's 0-6 in his last 6 starts. Spun down McGahee. Derek Johnson shooting through, and it's a loss of 2 on the play. On offense for the Cleveland Browns, Mitchell Schwartz on that offensive line. His brother, Jeff Schwartz, is a backup offensive lineman for Kansas City. First time they've played one another. Jordan Cameron, what a season he's put together. His 3rd year out of USC. He leads all tight ends in receptions in the NFL. 2nd and 12. Double tight end set, Cameron and Gray. Gray is the motion man. Campbell out of the gun. He'll throw it to Gray. And a modest gain, spun out of bounds along the sideline by Johnson.
Jason Campbell's pass.
5-yard pickup for Cleveland. Defensively for Kansas City, this is the #1 defense in the NFL. Big reason why is the play of Dontari Poe. It's not getting the same kind of pub as the likes of Houston and Hali. Derek Johnson once again having a big-time year. And Kendrick Lewis is actually a question mark with an ankle injury, but he's back there along with Flowers, Berry, and Smith. Dime package now with Cooper and Demps on the field for Kansas City on a 3rd and 7. Campbell slings it. Too far for Gordon. Gordon the deep threat. Smith there stride for stride. And the Browns go 3 and out.
That's something they've done way too often this season. They have Still not scored on their opening drive in a long time. You saw the talents of Derek Johnson making a tackle on a run blitz on first down, covering a receiver out of the backfield on second down, and forcing a 3rd and long for Campbell that he cannot hook up with Josh Gordon.
And they've been outscored in first quarters now 44-17, including the Kansas City field goal on the opening possession. Spencer Lanning will punt it. Dexter McCluster waiting for it. Flags come down.
False start against the Browns.
Illegal snap. Offense. Number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
An illegal snap against Christian Yount, the center, number 57. And that's when you know you're in trouble, when your center doesn't know the snap count.
This is a Cleveland team that had just 216 yards of offense against Green Bay last week. And Rob Chudzinski making the decision to make a change at QB. Lanning. It'll bounce, and it will take a Cleveland roll. McCluster picks it up. And McCluster trying to work his way towards the sideline, and he's brought down about around the 37-yard line by Tank Carter on special teams after the 51-yard punt. Chiefs in front, 3-0. Lead up to Halloween next week. Kansas City with a 3-0 lead over Cleveland. It's actually quite cold this morning here in Kansas City, starting to warm up. Sun is out. Chiefs fans in attendance. They opened up the parking lots at 7:30 a.m. time. Folks are ready to go. Fake it, and the ball is tipped. Smith could not get it off cleanly to Jabal Sheard. Able to get his hands on it as we go to New York. NFL Today update and JB.
Patriots challenges continue. They do, JB. Off of a Tom Brady interception. Back comes Ryan Tannehill, rolling to his right, buying some time. He finds Brandon Gibson. 4-yard touchdown pass. Dolphins lead 7-0. Back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
And guys, the AFC East very competitive. Away at 5-2. Jets a game behind. There's Miami in the mix and Buffalo. Smith forced out of the pocket, throwing on the move. Dwayne Bowe. That ball hit him right in the chest for a 7-yard gain as Desmond Bryant put the heat on Alex Smith.
That's probably the underrated part of Alex Smith's game is his mobility. After the play fake, the pressure comes immediately right up the middle and be able to fade away, running to the sideline to get this ball off. Very athletic move by Alex Smith.
Now 6 defensive backs out there for Cleveland. Kansas City facing a 3rd and 3. Bowe last week, 66 yards receiving. That was actually a season high. He's not putting up the numbers he's accustomed to. Charles gets to the edge. New set of downs for Kansas City. Brandon Albert on that left side with a block and a 7-yard gain for Charles.
Now let's check out the big left tackle here. 316 pounds and mobile. Good block on the perimeter by the wide receivers. Hemingway, tight end Fasano, and a mobile left tackle in Albert.
So first down at midfield for Kansas City. Charles with a cut and nowhere to go. Read well by Craig Robertson. No gain on the play.
By Craig Robertson.
Hey, fantasy football fans, check out CBSSports.com Player Challenge, a new 4-week game with a cash prize in every league. See rules and sign up at CBSSports.com/challenge. Kansas City, the 31st team in the Super Bowl era to start 7-0. The previous 30 teams all made the playoffs. Smith on the setup for McCluster. So McCluster catching it in traffic, then hit down low by Chris Owens. And they pick up 7 yards on the play.
Well, Andy Reid, when he came to Kansas City, brought a number of his coaches from Philadelphia, one of them offensive coordinator Doug Peterson. And Alex Smith didn't really know him very well, but he knew he played in the league. He says he's got that quality that every day is always the same. It's always about coaching and teaching, and he compared it to his days in San Francisco with Norv Turner.
And Peterson actually played a year at quarterback for Cleveland back in 2000, 3rd and 3. They will convert once again. McCluster, a 5-yard gain. And that's what Smith really brings to the table. The fact that he's so accurate, a good decision maker, makes the right read.
And the right read here is to find McCluster on a linebacker. That's such a mismatch with the quickness of McCluster. Time to throw and a quick decision.
McCluster was dealing with an eye injury. 3-0 lead for the Chiefs. First down, Smith. Play action. Wide open. Sean McGrath inside the Cleveland 20. And Smith put it on the money for 21 yards.
Another way of spreading the ball. They're getting it down the field, and it's to a tight end. The backup tight end McGrath is to the left side of the screener going in motion. And look at the pass protection for Alex Smith. Nobody anywhere near him. He puts the ball right in the hands of 84.
On first down, Givers to Charles. Charles hit hard. Phil Taylor will get credit for the stop. A 2-yard pickup by Charles.
That's the big part about this West Coast style of offense. It's spreading the ball around. Smith 7 of 10 here in the first quarter. 6 different receivers.
So right now Alex Smith has the longest active streak in the NFL without a touchdown pass.
This is where they worked extra hard in practice. Spent a lot of time on the red zone passing game.
Full receiver set for Kansas City. Out of the gun, Smith. Loops one towards the end zone. Too high for Fasano.
Pass intended for Anthony Fasano.
Now here's Fasano, number 80, again wide open as he gets behind Mingo. And another overthrown pass, second week in a row now that Alex Smith has overthrown a wide open receiver in the end zone.
Fasano missed 4 games, came back last week. McGrath actually did a good job stepping in. 3rd and 8. 10th play of the drive. Smith in some trouble. Goes down. Alex Smith hit by Paul Kruger.
Paul Kruger on the tackle.
And again, the Cleveland defense holds on 3rd down deep in their own territory.
2.5 sacks on the season now for Kruger. Here he is lined up real wide. And the rookie Eric Fisher having all kinds of problems with that wide rush. Kruger just overpowers Alex Smith and brings him down.
35-yard field goal attempt for Ryan Suckup. Colquitt will hold it. Gafford the snapper. It's good.
The kick is good.
Kansas City now with a 6-0 lead. First quarter action at Arrowhead.
Ticket exchange.
Once again, Kansas City is held to a suck-up field goal. That one of 35 yards to give the Chiefs a 6-0 lead over the Browns. Jason Campbell, veteran, has been around this league. 4 different teams with Washington and Oakland and Chicago, playing for his 3rd team in 3 years, his 9th NFL season. And for Campbell, when he was the backup, he was just trying to stay in his lane, he told us, not overstep the boundaries with Brandon Weeden and also with Brian Hoyer. Now as the starter, those leadership qualities come to the forefront again.
Oh, they have to, because you're the guy now. You're in charge. And he's been there before. He's a 60% completion throughout his career. 76 touchdowns, 52 interceptions. He needs a big drive here, trailing just 6-0.
The kickoff from Suckup, and it bounces to Benjamin. Benjamin walks a tightrope along the sideline and out of bounds just short of the 35-yard line. Defensively, in our Fouts focus, Kansas City is lethal. 2 of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Well, the key to Bob Sutton's attacking defense is to create confusion and indecision in the pass protection. Watch how Tamba Hali and Justin Houston line up on the same side on the 3rd long. That forces the offense to figure things out as the ball is snapped. The result was another strip sack for KC. 9 sacks for Hali this year, 10 for Houston. 35 altogether because of that attacking style.
And both are in the top 5 in that category in the NFL. Fozzie Whitaker is in there. Just to the side of Campbell, working from the gun. Campbell throws, drop ball, Devon Bess, and this has been a problem for Bess. That is his 6th drop of the season, known as a sure-handed receiver. Came over in a trade with Miami.
Well, so much of the relationship between a receiver and a quarterback is repetition. And Bess has had a number of quarterbacks to work with, and I think maybe now it's in his head because he's too good to have dropped 6 passes regardless of who's throwing him the ball this season.
He was known as one of the best third down receivers in the NFL in his 5 previous years with Miami. 2nd and 10 now for the Browns. Fake the handoff to McGahee. Campbell able to hit Greg Little on the outside for 8. We send it to New York. JB and Boomer.
Saints D having the O. Well, they're all over Thad Lewis, the Buffalo quarterback. He's fumbled twice, and after that second fumble, this is what has occurred. That's Drew Brees to Lance Moore, 15 yards. New Orleans gets on the board first, 7-0 over the Bills.
Ian and Dan, little ebonics there, but the word was helping. Back to Ian and Dan.
JP, New Orleans at 5-1. Carolina got the win on Thursday night over winless Tampa Bay, so they're trying to hang in there and become relevant again in the NFC South. This is a 3rd and 2. Campbell has time. Soft toss, but drilled behind the line to gain. McGahee hit by the veteran Derek Johnson. And once again, the Browns will punt.
Yeah, on the previous play, Brandon Flowers was in great coverage on the outside against Little. Had a shot at going for the ball, went for the tackle instead. If he goes for the ball and picks it off, he might have scored with it. Great position by Brandon Flowers.
Second punt for Spencer Lanning. Dexter McCluster waiting for it at the Kansas City 15. Good rush. Lanning does get it away. McCluster tripped. As he got across the 15, Chris Owens downfield on special teams. 6-0. Kansas City with a lead. With NFL Mobile's free trial, get 30 minutes of free live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone now through October 29th. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates may apply. Kansas City 6, Cleveland nothing, and even 3 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Chiefs have it at the 18-yard line. A little bit of trickery here with Avery on the end around. Avery stays on his feet and veers out of bounds, picks up 4 yards the hard way.
Pushed out of bounds by Barkevius Mingo.
Yeah, they faked the end around and then gave it to the end around on the other side, and Mingo, who had a chance to bring down Avery for a loss, just kind of pushed him forward, and he picks up a couple yards.
Second rush of the season for Avery. Doug Peterson, you see the ranks, 12th in rushing thanks to Charles, 26th in passing. The numbers for Alex Smith have been modest this season. On 2nd and 6, Smith to Dexter McCluster, spun down by Joe Hayden.
And so far the Chiefs are doing a good job of giving Jamal Charles a bit of a breather. He's only touched the ball 5 times in the 20 plays the Chiefs have run. But you got to be impressed with the way Smith is spreading the ball around. Another catch for McCluster. That gives him 3 so far. He's the leading Chiefs receiver.
3rd and short. Kansas City, 21st play of this opening quarter. Cleveland has run 6. On 3rd and 1, Smith operating out of the gun. In stride, he's got McCluster for a first down. Chris Owens back there defensively. It's an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, Owens is the nickel back for Kansas City, or for Cleveland, coming in with 5 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, but they're blitzing up in the middle, so that's man-to-man on the outside, and McCluster with the quickness on the slant route. Too much for Owens.
So first down now at the 38-yard line. McGrath and Fasano. 7th first down of the opening quarter for Kansas City. Smith to the flat. Charles Tried that spin move, but he was met. Buster Screen with a shot. And picks up 2 yards in the passing game. Tomorrow, it's a pre-Halloween great night of comedy on CBS, beginning with new episodes of How I Met Your Mother and Two Broke Girls, followed by a special Big Bang Theory and a new mom. It all starts tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
You going to wear that outfit for Halloween again this year?
Which one?
The same one you got on.
My Daniel Snyder look?
It works.
And where are we next week?
In Washington.
In D.C. Timeout taken by Kansas City. 27 seconds left in this opening quarter. Chiefs with a 6-0 lead. On the move again.
40-yard line.
Dan, you talked about the West Coast offense. Andy Reid, pass distribution, 6 catches for wide receivers, 2 for tight ends, 2 for running backs. Spreading it around, now a 2nd and 8. Charles looks for an opening, accelerates, and able to run through an arm tackle and take it across the 45. Another good block from Brandon Albert. 7-yard gain, and that's going to be the final play of this opening quarter. End of 1. 6-0 Kansas City on top of Cleveland. We'll return to KC after these messages. This is the NFL on CBS. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Beautiful day here in Kansas City. The Chiefs looking to move to 8-0 on the season. The Cleveland Browns enter action at 3-4. 23 plays in that first quarter for Kansas City. Cleveland to 6. And it's a 3rd and 1 to open up the second quarter. Charles pushing the pile, and it will be enough for a first down, a 3-yard gain. Ian Eagle, Dan Faust, the rest of our CBS crew. Producer Bob Monsbach, director Chris Svensson. Just underway here in the second quarter. Chiefs are playing their 3rd consecutive home game. They will be at Buffalo next week before they hit the bye.
First and 10 Chiefs from the Kansas City 49-yard line.
Kansas City has not allowed more than 17 points in a game this season. And they've got a 6-0 lead on the Browns. Charles lines up as a receiver. Smith, protection is there. Throw it out to the fullback. Anthony Sherman dishing out a little punishment across midfield. The collision with Craig Robertson. 3-yard gain as we send it to New York. JB and Boomer.
San Fran. Hey, JB, here's a play that Don Coryell and Sam Wyche would have never called. It's quarterback sweep left. It's Colin Kaepernick. It's 12 yards. It's 14-0 San Francisco over Jacksonville in London.
And I'm sure there's a quarterback who appreciated that. The bird and the beard.
Well, Boomer, you could have run that sweep play, but you know that I was better on the quarterback sneak.
The sneak, yeah.
Yes.
You really like to control the middle of the field.
I wanted to go against that nose tackle.
I think we have video. Might roll that in at some point.
I hope so.
Kansas City with a 6-0 lead. Smith avoids the rush to Sherman. Anthony Sherman involved in the offense here as he jumped over Joe Hayden. 9-yard pickup. All right, so iVision shows us Alex Smith has the ability to run. Nobody home, so he just does it himself. iVision with Dan Fouts. The running back isn't there, so what do you do?
Well, you hope there's no instant replay.
There was no instant replay.
Touchdown.
So you sold it as a touchdown, and it went on the board as a touchdown.
The key, as Alex did and I did, is to go where the running back was supposed to go.
That's right.
That's where the blocking is.
On first down, Dexter McCluster. Stutter step move for McCluster. And brought down just inside the 35 by Jackson. 5-yard gain for McCluster.
I asked Alex yesterday about that play, and he said, well, the hole was to the right side. That's where Charles was supposed to go, so I figured that's where I'll go. And he went in untouched.
What did Andy Reid say? He said he's a smart guy.
And he's a good athlete. That's the thing that people don't realize is that he can run and he can throw on the run. And when you combine that with smarts, you've got a winning quarterback.
And we mentioned that it's all about timing and rhythm in this offense, and that's what Smith brings. He's wired the right way is the way that he put it. Called him an excellent leader. 2nd and 5. Smith, incomplete. McCluster could not hold on to it. Buster Screen with the assignment defensively. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Kansas City.
Pretty typical pass offense we're seeing out of the Chiefs. Ball comes out quickly. Smith now has 12 completions out of 17 throws, but for just 110 yards and that one overthrow to Anthony Fasano in the red zone may haunt the Chiefs. They've been controlling this ball game, and yet they only lead by 6 points.
7 different players with at least one catch here today for Kansas City. 3rd and 5 from the 35. Smith flushed out. On the move, Smith's going to tuck and run. Smith down the sideline. Showing off the full repertoire. Bo with a key block for Alex Smith.
Well, as he escapes to the right side of the screen, he's going to get a great screen block by Bo right there. And that gives him an extra 20 yards down the sidelines thanks to his wide receiver, Dwayne Bowe.
23 yards for Alex Smith on the scramble. Smith's got 23 yards on the ground. Cleveland as a team -2. First down for Kansas City. Smith out of the pocket again. And he'll throw it away.
Smith pass incomplete.
Barkevius Mingo guarding that area for Smith, who had a notion initially to maybe run it.
You can almost see some frustration now on the part of Alex Smith. He knows that it's been a real problem getting touchdowns through the air in the red zone or anywhere in the last 3.5 games.
122 consecutive attempts without a touchdown pass. 2nd and 10 for Kansas City. Give it to Charles. Driven down by Phil Taylor. He goes 6'3", 335. Ataba Rubin goes 6'2", 330. Desmond Bryant 6'6", 310.
Watch out, Phil Taylor. He knows that at times Jamal Charles has had trouble hanging on to the ball, so all the Browns are going to be looking to rip it out of his hands. Charles has fumbled 3 times this year. He's lost 2 of them, but 18 times and 13 losses in his career.
14th play of the drive. This is 3rd and 10 now for Kansas City. Charles sets up as a receiver. Sherman in the backfield. Out of the gun. Dump off. Sherman. He's got the angle. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Well, that streak is over now, but who would ever expected it to be ended by Anthony Sherman? That is his first career touchdown. And it's a screen pass. Perfect call. Nobody would think that Sherman is going to be the primary receiver. Look at the convoy out in front, too. Good job there to get him to the corner into the end zone untouched.
Anthony Sherman acquired in a trade with Arizona for Javier Arenas, a 5th-round pick out of Connecticut back in 2011. And his first career touchdown. Suck up the extra point. Anthony Sherman, known as a strong lead blocker and now building a resume as a receiver. 14 plays, 82 yards. Kansas City, 13-0 lead. Touchdown pass from Alex Smith to Anthony Sherman, so that streak is over for Smith. Peterson, Smith huddle up. So far, so good for Kansas City on offense. 13-0 lead against the Browns. 10:26 to play in this first half. Ryan Suckup will kick it off to Fozzie Whitaker. Just looking for a spark here. Whitaker's going to take it out of the end zone. Whitaker. A little bit of speed from Whitaker as he crosses the 35. 42-yard return. Abdullah with a hit on special teams and a penalty marker thrown back of the 10.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 29. He's half the distance to the goal line. First down, Cleveland.
Penalty against Leon McFadden, so that run is coming back for the Browns.
So let's check out the touchdown. Watch the three interior linemen here. Jeff Allen, left guard, Rodney Hudson, the center, John Asamoah. This is what you call a convoy right there. Good block here, and there's the final block. And a good job of Sherman setting up that final block, tipping inside and then getting to the outside and to the corner.
So the Browns are pinned deep in their own territory. At the 5. Give it to McGahee. Tripped up, down low. Derek Johnson making plays all over the field. Back to New York. JB and Boomer.
Boomer, Miami.
Well, Ryan Tannehill's off to a great start today. Here's his second touchdown pass of the day, 5 yards to Daniel Thomas. Time of possession, 15 minutes and 56 seconds for Miami, 4 minutes and 9 seconds for Bill Belichick's New England Patriots.
I think Tannehill looked at some Dan Fouts tapes. Ian and Dan.
And some frustration building there in New England. They just have not been able to find that rhythm on offense. Campbell out of his own end zone, a dump off. McGahee is smacked again by Johnson for no gain.
Campbell's pass complete.
Now that's 8 plays now that the Browns have run. Derek Johnson has made 4 tackles so far.
Yeah, we asked him about Andy Reid, what he has brought to this team. He said he's instilled a confidence in us. He brings a different kind of swagger, and we followed his lead. The success that they've had has brought more confidence in what we're doing. You keep winning, you keep building. 3rd and 10. Campbell, heavy rush, gets rid of it. Obaniah is short of a first down.
Campbell's pass complete to Chris.
That's a
7-yard gain.
Third 3 and out for the Browns.
Pushed out of bounds by Tamba Hali.
And now the Chiefs are going to get great field position after this punt. You go back to the mistake on the kickoff.
Spencer
Ozzie Whitaker with a
Lanning in front formation
great
for
kickoff
Cleveland.
return out
Back
past the
deep for
30-yard
Kansas
line.
City. Dexter
Illegal block, backs the Browns up, and they cannot overcome that field position.
Kansas City, number 1. Scoring defense, 11.6 points per game. Lanning with a high punt. McCluster! And that's when you know everything just goes your way. McCluster doesn't handle it. But his teammate is there, Parker, to pick him up.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, a gift right here, and going for the tackle is Screen, which is normally what he should do, but the Chiefs get the recovery.
Back here at Arrowhead, which opened back in August of 1972. Had a number of games here throughout your career, Dan.
41 years, and it looks brand new. I didn't want to really talk about my experiences here.
Really?
No.
What was the giveaway?
Well, I get beat up every time, and the fans, they're such great fans, and they're so kind to you, you know, telling you that the next time out you're going to get beat up again. And a lot of times we played in the crowd wasn't as into it as it is now because the Chiefs were struggling. Boy, it's great to see this place full again.
Kansas City, the last 2 years, had 4 home wins already, with 4 this season, undefeated at 7-0. Chance to add to their lead. 13-0 Chiefs. Connection made to Donnie Avery. 5-yard gain. Buster Screen there defensively for Cleveland. Saturday on the Home Depot SEC on CBS. It's one of the best rivalries in college football. The Georgia Bulldogs take on the Florida Gators. It all begins at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with College Football Today here on CBS. 33 plays for Kansas City. Long drives, first 3 possessions. 9-play drive, 11-play drive. Last one was a 14-play drive. 2nd and 5 for the Chiefs. Smith pats the ball, looks around, finds an open man. It's McCluster. Breaks a tackle and gets out of bounds. He's got a first down. 5-yard pickup. NFL Today update. JB and Boomer. Busy guys today in New York.
Buffalo answers back.
Well, Kansas City is going to see a feisty team next week in Buffalo. Thad Lewis finds Stevie Johnson 7-7. Now, Thad Lewis has already fumbled twice today. Shows you great resiliency to adversity right there.
Have a short memory indeed. Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
48-yard line.
And guys, early in the broadcast, we told you that the Browns have had 20 different starting quarterbacks since coming into the league in 1999, re-entering the league. Thad Lewis was one of those QBs. Charles up the middle to midfield. Craig Robertson with the stop, along with Ishmaeli Kitchen for Cleveland. 2-yard gain.
A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield there that time. It looked like Jamal Charles may have gone the wrong way, but it was a good ad-lib move by the quarterback, Alex Smith. He didn't want to carry it again. Charles definitely went the wrong way, but heads up by Smith to get him the ball anyway.
Now a 2nd and 8. Niall Davis, the rookie out of Arkansas. 3rd-round pick is in. He gets the call. Forward progress will mark him down just short of the 45. A 5-yard pickup to Quell Jackson. First man to greet him for the Browns.
Well, Niall Davis is the change-up back, a big back at 227 pounds. You saw him in the pistol formation that time. Of course, Andy Reid brought in Chris Ault in the offseason to teach the pistol offense. Chris Ault, the inventor at the University of Nevada Wolfpack, came in and really did a good job of teaching it to the Chiefs. A lot of teams in the league catching on to it.
3rd and 3 now for Kansas City. Shotgun, Smith steps up. Smith out of trouble. And the slide by Smith. They got under DeQuell Jackson. It is enough for a first down. Or is it? Let's see where they spot it. Trying to determine where Alex Smith went down.
Yeah, they're going to move the ball back just a bit. It's exactly where he starts his slide, where he is down. But how about this Houdini act here in the pocket? It's away from Kruger there twice. And now here's the slide. And we'll see exactly after they bring the chains out whether he did get enough. He thought he did. It's kind of interesting. He slid sideways too. Didn't really go down the field all that much.
Alex Smith, #1 overall pick in that 2005 draft. That also produced Aaron Rodgers and Jason Campbell. Starter today for Cleveland. They'll extend the chains, and he's going to be just short. So what do you do? This portion of the field with a 13-0 lead, and now facing 4th and inches.
This might be worth a challenge by Andy Reid because, again, the slide went basically to the sideline and not up the field. But with this defense that Andy Reid has going forward on 4th down here is a good idea. When he had the ball in his right arm, which was the downfield side of the slide, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
And Reid just challenged it. Red flag came out from the Kansas City sideline.
Hey, Andy Reid knows they're 0 for 3 converting 4th downs this season. He also thought that Smith got the first down.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling as to the spot where the play was down by contact.
So Clete Blakeman is going to take a look at it. He'll be looking at this Alex Smith slide. Was it enough for the first down? We'll find out officially when we come back.
Now here's Alex Smith on the scramble here, and you can see the down marker here. What he needs to get to is about the 42-yard line. Starts his slide, and he clearly has the first down. And I think it's a good challenge by Andy Reid. And you don't have all that much to lose because you're going to go for it on 4th down already.
After the viewing of the play, when the quarterback started to slide and was down by contact, the ball was at the 41.5-yard lines, which is sufficient for a first down, Kansas City. The ball will be placed for 41, first down, Kansas City. Kansas City is not charged with a timeout.
So they'll move the chains on the Alex Smith run.
And the key there is Smith could see where the down marker was, and so he knew what he needed. And by sliding to the sideline and holding the ball on the downfield arm, just enough to pick up the first down.
First and 10 Chiefs at the 42-yard line.
On first down, Charles. They've done a good job against Charles, limiting him. 2-yard gain. TJ Ward there to greet him defensively for Cleveland.
2 yards on the play.
That's 9 carries now for Jamal Charles for just 23 yards.
Second down and 8 from the Cleveland 40-yard
Time
line.
of possession. That's what you get when you have 3 plays and out 3 times in the first half.
Second and 8 now for the Chiefs. 4.5 to go in this fast-moving first half. Smith. McCluster. He leads McCluster, which allows him to pick up extra yardage and a 5-yard gain for McCluster on the swing pass.
It sounds like a simple thing, but it is a difficult throw because the receiver is running as fast as he can to the sideline and then barely turning up. Cluster goes to the sideline, but this ball perfectly thrown. And there's the hit by Chris Owens. And may have got him on the wrist.
Yep, he was grabbing that left wrist. Medical staff checking him out. McCluster's not a big guy. 5'8", 170 pounds. Now in his 4th year out of Mississippi. Timeout call. Kansas City uses its 2nd timeout. They lead this one 13-0 against the Browns. Welcome back. Look at downtown Kansas City. Joining you today from Arrowhead. 13-0 lead for the Chiefs. Enter action at 7-0. The only undefeated team left in the NFL. They've got a 13-0 advantage on the Browns and face a 3-3 after the timeout. Smith with a deep drop, and he'll throw it into the ground in the direction of Charles. Was not going to take any chances, and that's been part of Alex Smith.
He was covered by Phil Taylor.
And the story here in Kansas City, as they've taped up that left wrist for McCluster.
Up in field goal formation, Dustin Colquitt holding.
Dwayne Bowe came in with a groin injury, but he's been out there. McCluster now dealing with a left wrist injury, and this is going to be a 52-yard attempt for Ryan Suckup. His long this season is 51. Career long of 54 set back in 2011. Suckup from 52 yards away. No good.
Kick is no good.
Suckup had the distance.
Stand up and shout!
He loves kicking here at Arrowhead. 83% success rate. That one just hooked to the left side just enough to had plenty of distance on it. It just pulled it a little bit to the left. Now the Browns will have great field position, and they need it. Best field position to start a drive all day. And just trailing by 13. They got to feel good about their chances still, although they've only run 8 plays all day. 9 plays.
Shotgun for Campbell. First down of the day. It's Cameron into Kansas City territory. So Jason Campbell, the latest in this revolving door at quarterback. They felt so good about the way Brian Hoyer was playing, and they lost him for the season. Torn ACL, right knee against Buffalo on October the 3rd, a Thursday night game. Hoyer, a local product. It was a terrific story. Whedon got his job back, and after ineffective play the last couple of weeks, it's Jason Campbell now getting his opportunity. McGahee. Flea flicker. He's got Gordon. Touchdown Browns. Jason Campbell with a strike. 39 yards on the gadget play.
Yeah, I'll give offensive coordinator Norv Turner a lot of credit for that very gutsy call. Perfectly executed too. Watch as Gordon comes off the line slowly, then bursts by Sean Smith. But at that point, he is gone. Ball perfectly thrown by Jason Campbell. First touchdown as a Brownie for Campbell. 39-yard beauty.
And on back-to-back plays, they get their 2 best weapons on offense involved, Cameron and Gordon. Extra point from Cundiff. And just like that, The Cleveland Browns
Chiefs 13.
are back in it.
Round 7.
Campbell, the deep ball. Gordon, his name has come up in so many trade rumors. There's a reason why teams are interested in. So Cleveland strikes with Gordon catching a long touchdown from Campbell.
And the key here, this is what Campbell's going to see as the pitch comes back from Willis McGahee. Watch Kendrick Lewis be more concerned with this route than this route. Here's Lewis coming in the middle of the field where there's three guys on Greg Little. And the speed of Josh Gordon and a perfect throw has the Browns back in this game.
Back in for Kansas City. Quinton.
So Brandon Weeden now in the backup role, cheering on his teammates. 58 yards on 2 plays. Prior to that, they had 18 yards of offense on 9 plays. Cundiff kicks it off. Quentin Dempsey's going to take it out deep in the end zone. Dempsey shaking a tackler. And then hit. Popped out of bounds right around the 25 by Tank Carter on special teams. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JV and the rest of the gang. The latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So the numbers completely in favor of Kansas City in this first half. But you look up on the board, close game, 13-7. 207 total yards for Kansas City, 76 for Cleveland. Time of possession, 21:08 KC, 6:13 for the Browns. Charles single setback. Play action. Smith loops out of trouble. And he'll run it once again.
Alex Smith, the ball
Out across the 30-yard line, chased by D'Qwell Jackson, 6-yard gain.
Now the third down conversion has been outstanding for the Chiefs today. On a 3rd and 1, it's a slant to McCluster, and then a 23-yard dash on a 3rd and 5 by Smith. And how about the touchdown came on a 3rd and 10. Screen pass to Sherman. This has been a problem for Cleveland's defense all year. 45% they've given up on 3rd downs. That's 29th in the league.
Dexter McCluster is in there. Jamal Charles getting to the second level and beyond across the 45. 14-yard gain for Charles, and we hit the 2-minute warning with the Chiefs in front 13-7 on Cleveland. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 weeks that the Chiefs have faced a backup quarterback. You see what Jason Campbell has done so far. Running game has been non-existent for the Cleveland Browns. And Gordon with the 39-yard touchdown. 13-7 KC. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Fake the handoff. Smith steps and throws. Knocked away. Excellent play by Joe Hayden. Dwayne Bowe, the intended receiver. Hayden, the 7th overall pick back in 2010, makes the play.
Yeah, tremendous reaction by Hayden. Right hand knocks the ball away, and he had his left arm wrapped around Bowe, but he did not turn Bowe. So that is not pass interference. That's just an outstanding play by Joe Hayden.
2nd and 10 now for the Chiefs. Smith from the gun. Underneath, he hits Charles and brought down just short of the first down by Tashawn Gibson. Gibson was involved in that hit last week against Jermichael Finley of the Packers.
Gain of 9 yards on the play.
Gibson was not fined by the NFL.
3rd down and 1 from the Cleveland 45-yard line.
19 plays in opponent territory. The Browns have had just 1, and it was a touchdown. Charles, good cut. Charles driving forward for a first down. Sean McGrath with a block, 17-yard gain for Charles.
How about the big left guard here? Jeff Allen on the pull here. Sherman with a good block there. How about the kick out on the corner by Allen? 3rd and short turns into a nice gain for Charles. 17 yards for Charles.
They have gone over 100 yards rushing in the first half. Niall Davis now in there. New set of downs for Kansas City inside the Cleveland 30. Smith fires. Caught! Touchdown! McCluster! Smith drilled it in there. 28-yard hookup.
First touchdown reception for McCluster, so give the training staff an assist because they must have done a pretty good job of taping up that left wrist. This was a difficult catch for McCluster as it was thrown on a line by Alex Smith, a perfect strike. And they're apparently going to review it as they do all scoring plays. And Cleve Blakeman is told it is good. Touchdown, Kansas City.
6 plays, 75 yards. It took only a minute 33 for the Chiefs to answer. Point after from Succop. To 7, Kansas City. Just over a minute to play in this first half.
All right, here's McCluster in the slot. He's just going to run right through the defense here. This is a busted coverage by the Browns. Looks like it's man-to-man across the board, except somebody forgot about number 22. The Browns let this one go right over the top. Good extension by McCluster. But the Chiefs did that drive, Ryan, without using a timeout. And they only had one to work with.
McCluster getting some love from these Chiefs fans at Arrowhead. 28 yards. Smith to McCluster, capping off that drive for Kansas City. Alex Smith on the day, 18 of 26, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Backing for Cleveland, Travis Benjamin.
Joe Hayden and the Cleveland Browns defense, they've now given up 20 points in the first half. They gave up 31 each of the last 2 weeks to Detroit and Green Bay. Benjamin's not going to take it out. Touchback. Browns have a minute and 11 to work with on the clock. Final stages of this second quarter. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So the drives for Kansas City settled for field goals early, then the touchdown. That was on an 82-yard drive. And this last one, quick down the field. Bang, bang, bang. 75 yards on 6 plays. Campbell on first down. Good throw to Davon Bess, who gets out of bounds. Clock stops with 1:07. Coverage from Brandon Flowers, 6-yard gain.
The key right there, you see the 3 hash marks. That means the Browns have 3 timeouts. It's a good way to start with a positive play where you don't have to use a timeout. Best gets out of bounds after the 6-yard gain.
They've been outscored 75-20 in their last 8 quarters. Obaniah up the middle for 1. Eric Berry with a tackle for Kansas City.
And this is where the lack of practice time may hurt the Browns, with Jason Campbell now trying to get everybody assembled properly at the line of scrimmage. A lot of time going off this clock. Remember, he's got 3 timeouts to work with.
We're down to 42 seconds left in this first half. 3rd and 3. Campbell from the gun. Campbell in stride. He's got Gordon, and Gordon's got speed. Josh Gordon forced out of bounds by Marcus Cooper.
Really cool customer in the pocket is Campbell. A lot of pressure on him on the crossing route here, running away from Sean Smith. A little bit of traffic there. Best does a nice job of avoiding the pick play, and then all that speed for 47 yards by Gordon, and he gets out of bounds. Still, the Browns will have 3 timeouts to work with here.
Second catch, 86 yards and a touchdown for Gordon. 30 seconds to go. Ogbonnaya in the backfield. First down from the 26. Deep drop. Campbell will throw right through the hands of Gordon. Incomplete. And a matchup with Cooper. We spoke to Gordon about all those trade rumors. He said, look, it's been 3 weeks and my head is spinning. I've heard from my agent. I've heard from my family. I've heard from the organization. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to focus because of all the things that have been swirling. But you can look at it the other way. The teams are interested in you. And he said whatever happens, he's going to be okay with. Trade deadline's 4 p.m. Tuesday, Eastern time.
This could be an audition game for him. This is on tape. Got a couple of big plays for the Browns.
Motion man is Bess on a 2nd and 10 for Cleveland. Campbell slings it, and it's Bess who cannot hold on. Devon Bess.
This is unfortunate for Bess and Campbell. Ball thrown behind Bess. He had a head of steam coming across the middle.
26-yard line.
Had a nice gain there, but the ball thrown so far behind him. A tough adjustment to be made.
So it's 3rd and 10 with 21 seconds to play.
I just wonder why they haven't targeted tight end Jordan Cameron.
Campbell pumps. Campbell. Deep ball. Broken up. Little in a matchup with Sean Smith. And it's rare that you see the corner that's taller than Greg Little. Sean Smith is at 6'3".
And it was Little who played defensive back on this play. Sean Smith had a good shot at this interception. Watch Little come over the top and hit that right shoulder and keep Smith from making the catch.
44-yard attempt for Billy Cundiff. Cleveland did not use any of its timeouts during that drive. Cundiff. He connects from 44 yards away.
The score, Chiefs 20.
20-10, Kansas City now leads it. I'll see why millions of fans have followed Person of Interest to its new night and time. Don't miss a new episode Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
Is that starring Josh Gordon? Because he certainly is a person of interest.
He is, and that's a tough position for a young guy. He admitted that it's been strange for him, but it'll all be dealt with one way or the other by Tuesday afternoon.
The Browns definitely need trade playmakers, but there are a lot of teams in the league that have lost wide receivers.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting day come Tuesday.
Gordon had the key play on that drive, 47-yard reception. It's been quiet so far for Jordan Cameron, as Cameron has been held to 1 catch, 19 yards. Campbell is 9 of 14 for 131 yards and a touchdown.
Cleveland, Billy Cundiff.
So just 10 seconds left in this first half.
And the good job that Campbell has done is he hasn't forced the ball, hasn't turned it over. Offensive line's done a good job protecting him. And it was key for the Browns to come down at the end of the first half and get some points. And
that had been the issue for Brandon Whedon. Some poor decisions, some mistakes. Benched for the 2nd time this season. So a touchback with 10 seconds to play. This week, don't miss the show that's in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth with the artistry of NFL films and the chemistry of the boys. Inside the NFL, the shows the pros watch Wednesday at 9 only on Showtime. Kansas City puts up 282 yards of offense. This is a team that has not had over 400 yards of offense this season. They've scored over 30 points just once. Strong showing by the Chiefs offense as we hit halftime. 20-10, Kansas City leading Cleveland. Welcome back. The Verizon Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. First half storylines in Kansas City. Alex Smith, big numbers, 175 yards and a couple of touchdowns for Smith and the Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, little trick or treat. It was a treat through the air. Campbell to Gordon to stay in this game against Kansas City. Chiefs trying to remain unbeaten, 20-10. Second half action is coming up with the Chiefs in front. This season, Pepsi invites NFL fans to show love for their team by asking, are you fan enough? Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL. And we welcome you back to the booth, the NFL on CBS. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. This is one of those games where Alex Smith knew he had to break that streak of no touchdowns, 3 straight games. He does it, and he does it in a big way. Looked very sharp in that first half, efficient, but also the 2 touchdowns.
Well, in the third down conversions, it's really been the key because they've been able to keep drives alive. Therefore, they have a huge advantage in time of possession. But, you know, you look at the stats, and it's all in favor of Kansas City, and yet they only lead by 10 points. So the big thing for Cleveland, they've been able to get the big play. They'll get the opening kickoff here to start the second half. And a touchdown drive here would be very, very important, obviously, for Cleveland.
-1 rushing yards for Cleveland. Lowest total in a first half in 20 years in the NFL. The Los Angeles Raiders, the last team to be in that vicinity. Suck up on the kickoff. Fozzie Whitaker with a touchback. Josh Gordon, he's been the playmaker for the Browns on offense.
2 catches, 86 yards. The flea flicker gets him into the end zone. And then a key crossing route here gets him down the sidelines, and that set up the Cundiff field goal. And it's accounted for the 10 points for Cleveland. Kansas City Chiefs defense has not given up more than 17 points all season long to their opponents.
Browns come in number 26 in the NFL in total offense, just under 315 yards per game. They put up 130 in that first half. Fake the handoff, Campbell to throw. Campbell guns it to Devon Bess. And Bess brought down at the 35, 15-yard gain for the Browns.
And the key on this pass, as opposed to the last one that Bess could not catch, is watch the position of the ball that Campbell puts it right in front of the receiver, full stride for Bess, who can make his way through the secondary. Great start on your first play of the second half.
Campbell now 10 of 15, 146 yards and a touchdown. Motion man is Barnidge.
John Greco jumped a little early, left guard.
False start. Offense, there's 77. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It is the 6-year veteran on the left side of the Cleveland line. Campbell and Smith have both played well. Part of that 05 draft class.
An offensive line for Cleveland doing a great job protecting Campbell. No sacks in that first half.
Fake the handoff, set it up for Gordon. Josh Gordon driven down just short of the 45 by Sean Smith, and Gordon lost his shoe on the play.
Well, it didn't look like he had anything when he caught that ball, but his explosion and decision-making to get straight up the field gets him 14 yards, and that's with just 1 shoe on.
Second down and 1 from the 44-yard line.
Well, that's one way to get him out of the game if you're Kansas City. Gordon now hits 100 yards receiving on the day. McGahee trying to plow up the middle. Good effort by McGahee to bring it just shy of midfield. 6-yard gain for the veteran, now in his 11th year in the league, McGahee. Well, the Browns' interaction in the AFC North, 2 games behind Cincinnati, tied with Baltimore. The Ravens have a bye. Pittsburgh at 2-4. Bob Chudzinski in his first year as the head coach of the Browns. Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons. Coached in Cleveland in a prior stint. He's actually the offensive coordinator. 07-08. Campbell throws. finds a soft spot, and it's Gordon once again.
Campbell's pass completed.
Josh Gordon putting on a clinic in the passing game. It's a 23-yard hookup for Cleveland.
Watch how he reaches behind him to make this catch. Finding the open area in the zone coverage in front of Brandon Flowers, and then adjusting to a ball slightly thrown behind him. Norv Turner up top here, calling the plays down to his son Scott Turner, the wide receiver coach, who then relays the plays into the quarterback, Jason Campbell.
Turner actually coached Alex Smith in San Francisco in 2006. Campbell unloads, almost gets it to Little, tried to drop it in the bucket, and it's incomplete.
For Greg Little.
Sean Smith had a shot at this one. Boy, 1 inch higher, and he might have got a pick there. Good effort by Little on the sidelines.
From the 28-yard
Tough try. There's Scott Turner, the son of Norv Turner, on the headset. Great relationship, great opportunity for both of them to work together.
Cleveland had 3 first downs in the first half. They've got 3 on this drive. Fake the handoff. Campbell in trouble. Campbell gets out of it. Campbell on the move. And angles himself out of bounds. The chase down by Johnson. Poe could not bring him down for the sack. It's a 5-yard gain for the Browns.
That's one thing they've always talked about. Jason Campbell at 6'5" and 230 and very mobile. Gets away from the 346-pound Don Terry Poe and heads to the sidelines. Safety and bring up a 3rd and manageable.
Campbell, a starter 6 years in the NFL. Sacks, none of them today for this Kansas City D. Timeout, Browns. 11:25 mark of the third. First possession of the second half. 20-10 lead for KC.
23-yard line.
Impressive drive to start this second half for the Cleveland Browns, but they face a 3rd and 5 after the timeout. 20-10, Kansas City in front. Obaniah in at running back. Campbell a deep drop, steps up. Campbell driven down inside the 20.
He's going to be just short of that first down, trying to go head first to overpower Derek Johnson.
Jason Campbell, the ball carrier.
This will bring up a 4th down for the Browns, and decision time now for
Tackled by Don
Rod Chudzinski.
They are a yard shy. They've gone for it on 4th down 15 times. They're 7 of 15 this season, playing their 8th game.
It's not always a good sign that you've had that many 4th downs to decide on, but the fact that they've converted almost half of that, that's outstanding. Right now, I think points are more important than going for it. I would bring out the field goal kicker to cut this lead to 7. Points are very important for this Brown team to give them momentum after this good opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, they're going to be short, and short by less than a yard.
But they have had success on 4th down, and the offense is staying out on the field. They're going to go for it.
Rob Chudzinski just gave the indication to his offense. This is the 2nd youngest team in the NFL behind St. Louis.
On the 19-yard line.
And Chudzinski trying to establish something here, showing some confidence right now that these guys can get it done.
And the Chiefs' opponents have converted 4 out of 8 4th downs, so that's a positive sign for the Browns.
4th and less than a yard for Cleveland. Carnage goes in motion. 3 tight ends. McGahee up the middle, and McGahee's got the first down. So this drive remains alive. They needed half a yard. They pick up 2.
Tackled by Sean Smith. Gain of 2.
Here's Jordan Cameron. Hasn't only caught 1 pass so far today, but showing that he can block as well. Good job there on Barry. Sean Laval and Mitchell Schwartz on that right side, and McGahee lowering his head and picking up a huge first down for Cleveland.
Red zone defense. Kansas City comes in ranked number 1 in touchdown percentage. 9th play of the drive for the Browns. Campbell lets it fly. He's got Whitaker in stride. Fozzie Whitaker. Touchdown Cleveland. Jason Campbell with a rope to Whitaker.
Well, because it's a scoring play, it will be reviewed. That's what they're looking at, and he clearly is in the end zone. Too much speed out of the backfield, a little swing route. Good quick decision by Campbell to get Whitaker the ball for his first NFL touchdown.
So on 4th down, they go for it, they convert, and then they turn it into points on the board. 7 pending the extra point from Cundiff. It's 20-17 Kansas City.
The kick is good.
The Cleveland Browns open up the second half with a 9-play, 80-yard drive. It took just over 5 minutes. It's Campbell to Whitaker. Taking it all the way.
3 touchdowns and over 200 yards.
Cleveland closes the lead now just to 3. Watch this design of this play. Gordon comes inside here and affects the linebacker as Whitaker goes down the sidelines, but perfectly run by Gordon. Doesn't get pass interference on the pick there, and then Whitaker's speed is too much for Hakeem Jordan. Perfect throw as well by Campbell, and a perfect way to start the second half for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Cleveland Browns, rather.
So the touchdown to Whitaker in his first year out of Texas.
Whitaker was with the San Diego Chargers throughout the preseason. I did a number of their games, and he was very productive for the Chargers, but they just didn't have room for him.
Was on the Arizona practice squad last year as Cundiff kicks it off deep, and Demps doesn't take it out of the end zone. Tonight on 60 Minutes, the attack in Benghazi. What really happened? Lara Logan with a year-long investigation on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. So Alex Smith and the Kansas City offense now nursing a 3-point lead, 9:58 to go in the third quarter.
You notice one thing right now? How quiet it is?
First, I just heard you. I had to double check. That was actually you talking.
I was wondering what was going on with you.
I thought it was the PA announcer for a second. Smith, fake the handoff. Open man is Niall Davis. So the defense started to lean in the direction of Smith, and he went against the grain to Davis for 12. Let's go to New York. JB, Boomer Esiason, NFL Today update.
Don't give the Patriots an opportunity.
That's what happens right here. Logan Ryan's going to come in, sack Ryan Tannehill. He's going to fumble. It's going to be picked up by Rob Ninkovich. This is not going to be a touchdown. Patriots offense comes on the field. There will be a 2-yard touchdown run by Brandon Bolden. A minute 46. The Patriots have scored 2 times to tie the score at 17-17.
We hear you well, Ian.
Thank you. You guys as well. Alex Smith, the quarterback keeper for 4. To Sean Gibson going down low to make the stop for Cleveland. We hit the 9-minute mark of this third quarter. Kansas City 20, Browns 17. The Chiefs undefeated, 7-0.
5 from the 37-yard line.
The combined record of the Chiefs' first 7 opponents, 15-33. So they have taken advantage of their schedule. But you can't blame a team for who they play. They've done their part. Smith on 2nd and 6. And Smith will head right for the perimeter, out of bounds, short of a first down. We told you about the 2005 draft. Alex Smith went number 1 that year. Aaron Rodgers had to wait a long time in the green room. He went 24, and then Jason Campbell went immediately after Rodgers to Washington. So out of Utah, Cal, and Auburn, the 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round that year. And Campbell and Rodgers became friends preparing for that draft. Got to know one another. And Alex said he was happy that Jason was getting another opportunity. 3rd and 3. Incomplete. Chad Hall, the intended receiver.
Pass intended for Chad Hall.
And the Chiefs will punt.
It was covered by Chris Owens.
That's just a misthrow by
Dustin
Alex Smith.
Colquitt
Hall
in
had enough
formation for Kansas City.
separation from the
Benjamin
defense, and he
back
had
in
enough
for Cleveland.
yardage for the first down, but the ball thrown too wide by Smith, his poorest throw of the day.
Dustin Colquitt to punt. Travis Benjamin, dangerous return man. He's got a touchdown this year. Came against Buffalo, 79 yards on a punt return. On a bounce. Benjamin slips, and he's down short of the 25.
Travis Benjamin on the return.
20-17, the Cleveland Browns trail, but they've got the football when we come back. The report from the Kansas City sideline is Jamal Charles has an injured knee. His return is questionable. You see him on the bike right now trying to work through the trouble.
54-yard line.
But right now it's a Kansas City defense on the field. The Cleveland Browns with a chance to tie or take the lead. Most points that Kansas City has given up this year, Cleveland has already matched the number at 17. Double tight end set. It's a pitch. McGahee. And he dives for a loss on the play. Justin Houston was putting pressure and then set the edge. There is Bob Sutton. We asked Andy Reid about Sutton. He said, look, I tried to hire him 2 times before. I couldn't jar him loose from the Jets. So when he got this job in Kansas City, he knew that that was the guy that he wanted to run his defense.
And loose is a key word there, because Sutton turns this defense loose. Lets them be athletes and play, as Houston did on that play.
2nd and 12 for the Browns. Come up on 7 minutes to go in the third. Campbell throws. And it's Barnidge with just his 6th catch of the season. 3-yard gain. Marcus Cooper over there defensively for Kansas City. Well, this Kansas City defense, first in points allowed per game, first in takeaways, first in sacks, first in third down percentage. You can toss in red zone touchdown percentage. They're first as well.
All adds up to 7-0, but they're being tested here by the Browns in the second half.
It's a 3rd and 9 for Cleveland. They handle the pressure. Campbell throws to Cameron. Jordan Cameron's got a first down.
One thing Norv Turner brought to this Cleveland offense is a lot of Antonio Gates tight end tapes. And he wants to watch this type of play. This doesn't look like Gates. I don't know what does. Jordan coming across the middle and then reverse pivot out. Separation from Abdullah, and a first down for Cleveland.
So 1st and 10, just short of the 40-yard line. Campbell's now 15 of 21 for 217. Handoff, McGahee. McGahee slithers
the ball carrier
for a 3.5-yard gain across the 40-yard line. What's the common bond with Cameron and Gates? It's that basketball background.
3 yards on the play.
Cameron started his career at BYU, then went to USC. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, Julius Thomas now at Denver, and there is Jordan Cameron. That has been a pipeline.
Well, this is a trend I think will continue. There's a lot of basketball players 6'5" that just aren't big enough to play in the NBA now.
Tweeners.
Yeah.
And LeBron James, he'll make his way. That 1 year he'll play in the NFL. Campbell, incomplete in the direction of Devon Bess. Sean Smith among those there defensively. And now Cleveland is facing a 3rd and 7.
Covered by Sean Smith.
We saw how good the Chiefs defense is defending third downs, and they've done a good job so far today. Just 2 out of 7 for Chudzinski's Browns.
Chudzinski brought his team inside for 2 days of practice this week, pumped the crowd noise into the speakers to try to prepare his team. It's hard to simulate this, though.
Especially on third down. The crowd really gets into it.
76,000 plus here in Kansas City. Shotgun on a 3rd and 7. Here they come. Campbell gets rid of it. Whitaker the catch, and he's short of the first down. Sean Smith the tackle.
Campbell's pass complete to Fozzie
And the
Whitaker.
punting unit will come on as they are short of the 50-yard line.
Now Sutton brought Eric Berry on a safety blitz there. That forced Campbell to go to his outlet receiver. That was Whitaker, and he was well covered. Kept him from picking up the first down.
Dexter McCluster injured his left wrist in the first half, but did score a touchdown after that injury. Spencer Lanning will punt it for Cleveland. His first year out of South Carolina. Kicked in the UFL for Sacramento. High kick, returnable. McCluster gets by that initial wave, and McCluster is forced out of bounds across the 20-yard line by Barnage on special teams. A 43-yard punt and 11-yard return. Kansas City, a 3-point lead. Chiefs offense on the field when we come back. Back in Kansas City, look at the Art Museum. Anybody up for a big game of badminton?
I wonder how big the rackets are.
That must be a huge racket. We'll do some investigative work on that. Jamar Charles is back in there for Kansas City, dealing with a knee injury. Fake the handoff, bootleg. Smith avoids the rush. And he hits McGrath for a short gain on first down. It's 3 yards. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS, doubleheader action. First, Alex Smith and the Chiefs take on the Bills, or RG3 and the Redskins host the Chargers. Then the Steelers meet Tom Brady and the Patriots. It all starts at noon Eastern. JB and Company, the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. 2nd and 7. Charles, nowhere to go.
Jamal Charles, the ball carrier.
Owens there, Ward there. Kruger in the area, and no gain on the play.
And Charles just doesn't look the same as he did in that first half because of that knee injury. Optimistically in the huddle was on the bike with his helmet on, so that would tell you that he was ready to go back in, but he's not 100%.
Hey, rock it!
On 3rd and 7. Smith. Not going to get out of this one. Smith is dumped. Alex Smith unable to break free. Craig Robertson, Armonte Bryant, and Paul Kruger all putting pressure on the QB.
Well, the Rocky. It's been a rocky second half for the Chiefs and Alex Smith. He had a lot of time to throw initially, then tried to escape the pocket and can't get away from Robertson.
So 4th down, that means Dustin Colquitt is punting to Benjamin. Benjamin standing at his own 32-yard line. High kick, backpedaling. Benjamin has room. From the 20. Spin move, flag is thrown, and Benjamin is spun down. May have been injured on the play as well.
Flag is back at the line of scrimmage.
And Benjamin can't get up on his own. Benjamin is 5'10", 175 pounds, a second-year wide receiver out of Miami. Ran track at Miami as well. And again, that's part of the reason why he doesn't return kicks all the time.
There are 2 fouls against the return team on the play. Holding, number 24. Penalties decline. Holding, number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Cleveland.
Double hold, Marquise Gray is going to get called on this one. Benjamin is the full-time punt returner, part-time kickoff returner. And Benjamin is still being worked on by the medical staff. We'll step aside. In the first half, Kansas City, 281 yards of offense. They've been limited to 22 in the second half. Cleveland has picked things up. And the Browns get the football back, trailing by 3. Late stages, 3rd quarter. Campbell throws, incomplete. Josh Gordon in a matchup with Marcus Cooper, the rookie out of Rutgers. 2nd and 10. Get inside the mind of a quarterback. Join Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and Adam Schein on NFL Monday QB. That's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Jason Campbell now 7 out of 10 here in the second half for 91 yards.
Obaniah is in. Little the motion man. Shotgun for Campbell. Inside handoff, Obaniah. Obaniah finds a running lane, and he's got a first down. Laval and Thomas, good blocks, 11-yard gain. NFL Today update, JB and Boomer.
Breeze to Graham.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is a staple down there in New Orleans, and here it is for the second time today. Drew Brees has thrown 4 touchdowns in this game. Buffalo just scored a touchdown to get a little bit closer. 342 touchdowns for Drew Brees in his career, tied for 5th with Fran Tarkenton.
That sounds about as good as Eagle to Faust.
And JB and Boomer. New Orleans still chugging along with Drew Brees. Willis McGahee, his best run of the day across the 35 for 14.
Tackled by Brandon Flowers.
That's back-to-back big runs off this left side. First it's Obaniah. Now watch the blocking here. Good double team between Greco and Mack. And now McGahee gets the benefit of that super blocking up front. And the Browns, who were backed up in their own end of the field momentarily ago, are out to the 36.
We come up on 1 minute to go in this third quarter. Mix and match the running backs. It's Fozzie Whitaker now in there for Cleveland. On first down, Campbell throws a deep ball. Incomplete. Gordon and Sean Smith, the one-on-one matchup.
He was covered by Sean Smith.
We're down to 53 seconds to play in the third.
Second down and 10 from the Cleveland 36-yard line.
Rushing yards in that first half. Yeah, Cleveland was -1 and finally got some semblance of a running game in the second half, which has allowed them to use a little bit more of that play action.
Wildcat.
It is the Wildcat. And going up the middle, McGahee. So the veteran, former first-round pick back in 2003. He's played with Buffalo, Baltimore, Denver. And picked up after the Cleveland Browns made the deal with Indianapolis, trading Trent Richardson, the former number 3 pick in the 2012 draft, for a 2014 first-round pick. 7-yard gain.
Still no sacks for Kansas City after averaging 5 per game coming in to today's game.
Right now, Kansas City has 7 defensive backs on the field. Campbell, a deep drop. Dump off, Obaniah. Obaniah thrown down along the sideline, short of a first down by Flowers.
Obaniah made the first tackler miss, but Flowers cleans him up pretty good and keeps him from picking up the first down.
And he lost his shoe as well. End of 3, 20-17, Kansas City in front. You're watching the NFL on CBS. It's week 8, a Sunday afternoon here at Arrowhead. 20-17, Kansas City leading Cleveland. The Chiefs undefeated, lone undefeated team in the NFL at 7-0. The Browns enter action at 3-4. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. Spencer Lanning on to punt it. Dexter McCluster standing at the 10. He'll catch it at the 12. McCluster a spin move. McCluster. Flag thrown as he crosses the 30-yard line. A 44-yard punt and a 20-yard return. But the penalty marker thrown at the 44.
During the return, holding from the return team, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Kansas City.
Hakeem Jordan called for the hold. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show.
And first penalty of the afternoon against the Chiefs. That costs a bit of yardage. As an outstanding return by McCluster. Well-played game as far as penalties are concerned for Kansas City.
First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs.
Well, the change of scenery has worked for Andy Reid. It's worked for Alex Smith. And trying to keep this streak alive. Give is to Charles. And Charles brought down by his ankles. Craig Robertson with a tackle. It's a 4-yard gain.
Craig Robertson, gain of 4 yards on the play.
NFL rushing average leaders career. Jamal Charles, 5.6. That's the best all time with a minimum of 900 attempts. Jim Brown at 5.2. There's Peterson, Sayers, and Sanders. It's incredible company.
3 Hall of Famers.
59 yards on the ground. You said it was the first penalty moments ago. This is going to be the second one.
So did I jinx them?
That's the announcer jinx, Dan. That's the power of the microphone.
I wish I had that when I was playing.
Yeah. The officials huddle up.
False start. Offense. Center number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I think Hudson, the center, number 61, is nose to nose with big number 98, Phil Taylor. Watch Taylor make that little move there. That got Hudson to false snap the ball. I think Taylor got away with one there.
Chiefs 22-yard line.
Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Taylor just pointing in the direction of the Kansas City offensive line. On second down for KC. Play fake. Smith has all the time and connects. Donnie Avery. 18 yards and a first down for the Chiefs. The hit from Craig Robertson, the linebacker.
That's the one thing that Avery talked about is he's more disciplined in his running routes now because of the style of offense. He used to be considered a speed guy, but good sharp route there on the crossing route. That gives the throwing lane to Alex Smith. He puts it right on the numbers. Big first down.
Avery said about Smith, he doesn't put you in dangerous positions as a wide receiver. He makes wise decisions. Smith is down. Phil Taylor, that initial pressure. And then John Hughes made sure that Smith was not going to break free. A loss of 4 on the play.
That's 2 big plays for Phil Taylor, the nose tackle. Again, working on the center, Rodney Hudson. Little rip move there and enough to grab the ankle. That's the 3rd sack of the game now for the Cleveland defense.
Kansas City defense has 0. Came in as the league leaders. On second down, Smith offline to Donnie Avery. Incomplete.
Smith's pass intended for Donnie Avery.
Yeah, on this play, I think that Smith paid too much attention to the ball fake to Jamal Charles and didn't get the ball out of his hand on that quick slant as quickly as he might have liked to. Watch the fake here. Now he gets his eyes on Avery, and Avery may have cut that route a little short because of the movement by Buster Screen coming inside.
So 3rd and 14 now for Kansas City. 12:37 to go. We're in the 4th. Chiefs lead it by 3. Pressure is coming. Smith is sacked again. T.J. Ward leading that charge for the Cleveland D.
Well, T.J. Ward will get credit for his first sack here. Again, it's Ray Horton. Very creative here. Watch Ward come here and then shoot the gap right behind the linebacker, DeQuell Jackson. Jamal Charles misses the block. Another sack for the Browns.
Benjamin has a knee injury. His return is questionable. So Devon Bess is now the return man on this punt from Colquitt. Colquitt goes down. A flag is down. Bess trying to sidestep a tackler, and Bess takes it to the 27-yard line.
What a mistake by Cleveland. They were going to get good field position, but they did rough Colquitt as he kind of limps off the field here to sell the penalty. Clete Blakeman did throw the flag.
Conversation now with Andy Reid. Penalty marker was thrown on the rush against the punter Colquitt. Bess able to take it to the 27-yard line on the return.
Running into the kicker. Defense number 95. That penalty's declined. First down, Kansas City.
The penalty is declined.
First down, Cleveland.
First down, Cleveland.
There you go. Browns will have the football when we come back. Aerial coverage of today's action being provided by MetLife. Now this Kansas City crowd a little bit antsy right now. Chiefs are 7-0. The 03 team actually started the season 9-0 and finished the year 13-3. Cleveland with the football. First and 10 from the 27. Whitaker goes in motion. The throw. Ogbonnaya gets stamped by Johnson. Incomplete.
Well, if there's one guy who loves Sutton's defense, it is Derek Johnson. He says, I'm allowed to do everything out here. Watch number 56 on the crossing route, recognizes it, then a good, clean, legal shoulder hit on Ogbonnaya dislodges the ball. Heads up play, recognizing and then avoiding the helmet-to-helmet hit.
Second and 10 for the Browns. Play action. Campbell dials up the deep ball. Hauled in by Cameron. Jordan Cameron.
Campbell's pass complete to Jordan Cameron.
We asked Campbell about him. He said he's got the size of a tight end, but he runs like a receiver.
Well, he played wide receiver at USC, but how about the adjustment to the ball? Looking over his right shoulder, spinning around over his left shoulder, and then losing his balance, falling down, keeping his eyes on the ball. But here he's got to realize he's not touched just yet. Not like college when you're down automatically. 37 yards on the play. Fabulous catch.
The ability to create some separation. That's what Cameron did on that play. On a give. McGahee with a flag thrown. McGahee right up the gut. Clock is moving, under 11 minutes to go.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it is the perennial Pro Bowler Joe Thomas called on the hold.
Yeah, working against Mike DeVito. He got both shoulders of DeVito. Here's Thomas. There's DeVito. And because it's at the point of attack there, the official's looking for any type of advantage for the offense. And Thomas, with the takedown, gets the flag.
6 penalties costing Cleveland 50 yards. Kansas City has been penalized twice. 3-point lead for the Chiefs. Cleveland driving. First and 20 now from the 45. Campbell. Jason Campbell is sacked for the first time today. Justin Houston getting there with Tyson Jackson.
Justin Houston.
Loss of 10 yards on the play.
It'll be the 11th sack of the year as Houston just overpowers Schwartz. So the Browns, when they had the ball out to the 35-yard line of Kansas City, have gone backwards because of the penalty and the sack.
On second down, they run it to Ogbonnaya, and he gets upended behind the line of scrimmage.
Chris Ogbonnaya, the ball carrier.
Eric Berry, strong safety, playing like an extra linebacker that time.
Loss of a yard on the play.
He shot the gap there, around the corner. Ogbonnaya had no shot.
4-yard line.
Remember, Cleveland was at the 36-yard line. They're now back at their own 44.
Yeah, Campbell's going to have to be real careful not to force this ball. It's okay to punt in this situation. Pin the Chiefs back deep in their own end.
3rd and a mile for the Browns. Fake the handoff, dump off Ogbonnaya. And popped along the sideline just across midfield by Berry. 8-yard gain as we send it to New York. JB and Boomer, NFL Today update.
A productive second half so far for the Pats.
I don't know about you, Dan, but I used to hate these things. Watch the play by Devin McCourty, the safety of the New England Patriots, goes up, knocks the ball back in bounds to his teammate Marquise Cole. That's its second turnover of the second half for the Dolphins. New England leads 20-17.
Nicely choreographed. Back to Ian and Dan.
All right, guys, here a tight one. Kansas City leading 20-17. Spencer Lanning punting to Dexter McCluster. This one will go over his head and rolling inside the 5. And a flag is down at the 37-yard line. So Lanning doing his job.
And that's why it's so key in that 3rd and long not to throw the ball down the field, risk an interception. Let your defense, that's playing very well in the second half against this Chief offense. And that's going to be a challenge for
kick. Holding, receiving team number 31. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, Kansas City.
So now they'll start from the 1-yard line because of the good play call by Norv Turner on that 3rd down. And then a beautiful punt by Lanning. It goes to the 3 and now to the 1.5.
Time of possession, first half controlled by Kansas City, the opposite in the second half. 1st and 10 from the 1. Smith throwing from his own end zone. Broken up. Bo, the intended receiver, and a late flag. Joe Hayden there defensively.
There's a flag on the play.
This get him for holding, I believe.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense, number 23. A 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, gives him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, it's a pretty good grab here by Hayden. A little stop and go by Bo. And you never know that without that hold, that ball was on target. It might have gone a long way to Dwayne Bowe. Bo just battling that groin injury. He only has 1 reception in the game so far.
McCluster's been their leading receiver. 7 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Smith throws it deep. And Avery couldn't catch up to it. Donnie Avery known for his speed. But that ball a little too far in coverage. Buster screen. And the second half drives, we see what the results have been throughout. Punts for Andy Reid's offense.
And a shutout for Ray Horton's defense.
We asked DeQuell Jackson about Horton. He said he really laid the blueprint of what this defense could be. His knowledge of the game is top-notch. Everything he talks about comes from experience and preparation. Jackson said he hopes they can hold on to him for a couple more years, but he expects him to be a head coach in the NFL in the near future. Trying to get a substitution.
I think the Browns had 12 men on the field there. They got away with it.
2nd and 10. Jamal Charles will come up just short of the 10-yard line and a 4-yard gain. Taba Rubin with the tackle for Cleveland.
The Browns had 12 men on the field, and then they also got the play clock stopped. So a real advantage there as they finally got things squared away. Defensive coordinator Ray Horton upstairs. Good solid numbers, and he promises better as the season goes on.
This is now a 3rd and 6 for Kansas City.
Hey, laser!
We come up on 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. A 3-point lead for the Chiefs. Play clock is down to 1. Smith out of the gun. Rush is coming. Smith gets rid of it. Incomplete. McCluster hit by screen. And the Cleveland defense does its job once again as Smith got some pressure from Desmond Bryant of the Browns.
Bryant going around Eric Fisher.
Devon Best back deep for Cleveland.
Forces Smith up into the pocket, but the aggressive style there that time, the blitz by the Browns and the tight coverage by screen, and the Browns are going to get great field position.
Dustin Colquitt with Devon Best waiting for it at the 43. Benjamin out with a knee injury. Short kick. Best loses the ball. Kansas City trying to fall on it.
was such a short, bad punt by Colquitt that Best coming full speed to try to make the catch.
Kansas City, they've got it, and these fans are in a frenzy.
Best trying to make a play off of that short punt. Looks like it had the ball bounce off his knee. Actually had it and then took his eye off it looking for the coverage and just flat dropped the ball.
Frank Zombo on special teams. Number 51 gets in there late after making the play on Best. Best, who's had problems holding onto the football on offense, and now hurts the team on special teams, filling in for the injured Benjamin.
Kansas City from the Chiefs 47-yard line.
20 takeaways this season. That's the most in the NFL. Kansas City with a 3-point lead. 7:02 to play. First and 10 from the Chiefs 47. Flea flicker. Cleveland was ready for it. Oh, Mingo all over it.
Mingo likes flea flickers.
Yes, he does.
Here he comes off the corner here. The difference here is that he goes just blowing by left tackle Brandon Albert.
Also 5 yards on the
and he picks up his 4th sack of the season.
Second down and 15 from the Chiefs 42-yard line.
5th sack of the day for this Cleveland defense.
The rookie out of LSU, first time ever in Kansas City. Smith for Fasano, and he's out of bounds. TJ Ward, the safety, 6-yard gain for Kansas City, and a 3rd down now for the Chiefs.
It just appeared that before the Best fumble that the Chiefs were going to give up great field position to the Browns, and now because of their recovery, if they don't pick up this first down, they'll be able to pin the Browns deep in their end of the field. So talk about flipping the field in one play. That's what the Best fumble did.
Third down for the Chiefs. Charles in the backfield. Dump off to Charles. Jamal Charles, a first down. Yes, the Chiefs will dink and dunk, but it's been effective. There's a reason why this team is 7-0.
Really a great play call again on 3rd down. We've seen this a couple of times. A screen pass. You get Charles out in the open field, that's exactly what you want. He's a north-south runner, makes quick cuts, and has overcome a knee injury in this ball game to pick up that 11 yards and a huge first down for KC.
He also ran track at Texas, and you see that sprinter style. On first down, Charles. Now inside the 40, it was Devon Bess. The fumble on the punt return that gave Kansas City the football back. Cleveland was going to have excellent field position against this Kansas City defense in a 3-point game. We are under 5 minutes to play.
And 2 timeouts for Cleveland. Remember, they had to use one on offense here in the second half.
After the 2-yard gain, it's a 2nd and 8 now for the Chiefs. Charles and Sherman lined up behind Smith. Charles the stutter step, and a flag is thrown as Mingo was involved in the stop.
Holding offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
It's John Asamoah, the right guard.
Let's check out big number 73 here as he just jumps on the back of Craig Robertson. Easy call for the officials. After no penalties in that first half, 3 here in the second half against KC.
Line of scrimmage is now the 49-yard line and facing a 2nd and 18. Officials blow the whistle. Side judge Greg Meyer wanting to make sure everything is sorted out with Clete Blakeman.
Please set the game clock to 4 minutes and 17 seconds. 4:17.
So the 3-second differential, they take care of that. One of the great scenes in the NFL here in Kansas City, and it feels like Arrowhead again. There was a stretch there where the team just wasn't winning enough to create the kind of atmosphere that NFL fans have grown accustomed to here. 2nd and 18 for the Chiefs. From the gun, Smith set it up for Charles. No gain.
Pass complete to Jamal Charles.
Buster Screen ranging over to make the play down low against Charles.
Yeah, screen passes work so much better against man-to-man defense. That time a zone, all eyes on the backfield, especially on number 25.
Cleveland calls a timeout. They've got 1 remaining. 4:10 to play, 4th quarter here in Kansas City. The Browns have 1 timeout remaining. Kansas City's got a 20-17 lead on Cleveland, but face a 3rd and 18. 3 receivers set.
Hey, Larry. Larry, 152. Wide 80. Eyes up.
Rush coming. Smith flushed out of the pocket. And Smith is down at the 40-yard line. D'Qwell Jackson getting to the QB.
With that 3rd and 18, they needed to get about 10 yards to give suck up a shot at a long field goal. But this sack obviously takes them out of any consideration for that. And Bess is back after fumbling the last punt.
Final timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Jeff Allen limping off the field, the starting left guard for Kansas City, and Fasano trying to help him.
Shouldn't this be an injury timeout for Kansas City then? Cleveland called the timeout before they recognized that Allen was injured.
Right now the Browns are out of timeouts if this one stands. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JV and the rest of the crew, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. So Devon Bess will get another opportunity here. Waiting for the Colquitt punt at his own 15-yard line.
Devon Bess back deep for Cleveland.
Travis Benjamin went out with a knee injury. Bess, the 6-year veteran, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. Punt from Colquitt. Bess, fair catch, secures it. The Browns have it at the 16 after the 44-yard punt. Jason Campbell back in the starting role in the NFL. He'll get a chance with this Browns offense when we come back. Here in Kansas City, Chiefs at 7-0. They've got a 20-17 lead on Cleveland. The Browns take over with a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Cameron and Barnage, double tight end. Campbell deep drop. Campbell throws. Incomplete. Gordon, the intended receiver. Billy Cundiff, as long this year, is 51. His career long is 56, which he kicked back in 2005. So you're looking right around the 34-yard line. That's the target line for this Cleveland offense to get him in an area where he could be comfortable.
Well, the one guy's not going to be comfortable is Jason Campbell. Great pressure that time on 1st down. Still able to get the ball real close to Josh Gordon, who couldn't make the catch.
Dime package here for Kansas City. 6 defensive backs on a 2nd and 10 for the Browns.
Now give that offside to this crowd. Both tackles moved early.
Ball start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
They're going to hang it on Joe Thomas, but Mitchell Schwartz jumped early as well. There's Thomas, there's Schwartz, and the ball is still in the hands of Alex Mack. That's the effect of this awesome crowd.
Jason Campbell, 5 years with Washington, 3 years with Oakland, 1 year with Chicago, first year with the Browns. Can he get it done for Cleveland in his first start? Short underneath route to Devon Bess, and Bess is out of bounds after the 6-yard gain.
He was forced out of bounds by Eric Berry.
Really fine catch by Bess on the sidelines there. Clearly inbounds. It gives the Browns a chance now at 3rd and 9. Obviously, with no timeouts left, they will be thinking about going for it. They're going to have to on 4th down.
This crowd is roaring. 3rd and 9 for Campbell and the Browns. Throws. He's got Cameron for a first down. And that'll quiet the crowd momentarily. Eric Berry with the open field tackle, 11-yard hookup.
Gain of 11 yards on the play.
Crossing route for Jordan, but interesting that the Chiefs decided to play zone and not rush Campbell. He had all day to find Cameron Jordan across the middle.
Campbell on first down, and he will sky it into the crowd, literally.
Pass incomplete. Pressured by Justin Houston.
Clock stops with 3:12 remaining here in the 4th.
There's some question as to whether that's intentional grounding, but there was a receiver in the area. He just wasn't sitting in the stands.
28-yard line.
Jordan Cameron is such a weapon here across the middle with his speed. And also we haven't heard from Josh Gordon in a while.
Second and 10. Campbell, pump, flag down. Campbell looking to run. Campbell spins to the 40-yard line with a penalty marker on the play, back at the 19.
They're going to get Joe Thomas on Tamba Hali.
Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Ali came with a bit of a delayed blitz from his linebacker spot. Here's Ali standing up. Here's Joe Thomas trying to get an advantage here. And as soon as he takes that inside route, Thomas, protecting his quarterback, reaches out and grabs him. 9 penalties against the Browns for 70 yards. That one huge because Campbell had picked up the first down or got close to it.
2nd and 20 now for Cleveland. Obanaya is in there. Flag comes down. Campbell loses the football. Derek Johnson jumping on it.
Ali was offsides.
Browns are pointing in Kansas City's direction. Clete Blakeman will deliver the news.
Offside. Defense, number 91. Was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And it was close on the previous play with Hali when he was held by Thomas. This time they got him.
The neutral zone is the length of the football, and he was just barely into that neutral zone. Well, Campbell's got to be thinking about trying to get half of this second down and 15. Don't try to get it all here. Well, Jordan Cameron going over to the sidelines.
.255 to play here at Arrowhead. Kansas City, the lone remaining undefeated team in the NFL. Browns trying to get back to the 500 mark. 2nd and 15 for Cleveland. Campbell steps up. Campbell, little dance to the 31-yard line for Jason Campbell. Justin Houston put the heat on him initially. It's a 9-yard gain for Campbell.
And right to the line of scrimmage now for the Browns. The crowd is quiet enough now for the Browns to communicate their next play.
Cleveland has no timeouts remaining. 2:22 and counting left in this fourth quarter. From the gun, Campbell rifles, low throw, incomplete. Best the intended target, and now it's fourth down.
Yeah, the pressure by Derek Johnson got to Campbell just as he is releasing this ball. Full blitz by the Chiefs, and that causes that ball to come in low to Devon Best. But watch the hit there by Derek Johnson, also Eric Berry from a safety spot.
So it's fourth down for the Browns. The Kansas City defense looking for one more stop.
Kansas City timeout. Smart timeout. They saw how the Browns had lined up on offense. This will give them a chance to go to the sidelines and talk about tendencies here. But now it'd be interesting to see if the Browns change up what they come with. That's part of the chess match between outstanding coordinators. Norv Turner for the Browns and Bob Sutton for the Chiefs. They face each other a number of times throughout the years.
This is a Cleveland team that gave up 31 points in a loss to Green Bay last week, gave up 31 points in a loss to Detroit the week before. It looked like Kansas City had it rolling on offense, and then the Browns defense has been able to step forward. They've gotten a strong performance out of Jason Campbell, 21 of 34, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns going against the #1 ranked scoring defense in the NFL. This is 4th and 7 for Cleveland. Campbell out of the pocket. Campbell looking downfield. Campbell throws, sliding attempt, incomplete, trying to hit Bess. And the Browns have just handed it over to Kansas City on downs.
And if Bess makes this catch, he's got enough yardage for the first down. Rough afternoon for number 15. Great play by Campbell. He had nothing on that side of the field. He stopped, knew he couldn't run for it, found Bess on the other side of the field, and Bess with another drop. The most critical of the afternoon.
Well, here is the one positive in this equation for Cleveland. The play was whistled dead at 2:01 as opposed to being under the 2-minute warning. So that means they will get what's the equivalent of a timeout with the 2-minute warning. If they were to stop Kansas City somehow,
1st and 10 Chiefs.
they could get the ball back with 20 to 25 seconds left. But if Kansas City gets a first down, this game will be put on ice. Charles trying to loop around. Jamal Charles, terrific effort. Brought down inside the 25, and we hit the 2-minute warning with 1:53 to play in the fourth. Chiefs up by 3. It's been a rough afternoon for the veteran Devon Bess for the Cleveland Browns.
They came into the game with 5 drops on the season. They had a rough first half with a couple. This one thrown just behind him. But this critical muff on the punt recovered by the Chiefs, and then this drop on a tough try. He'll be back, though.
Kansas City facing a 2nd and 3. Trying to end this game. Charles. They'll be short of a first down. Needed 3, picked up 2. TJ Ward in on the stop for Cleveland. Clock will roll now. Browns cannot stop the clock.
And how big was the Charles run on first down when he got hit in the backfield, reversed his field, went to the left side, and picked up huge yardage. It looked like he was going to be stopped for negative yardage.
73 yards on the ground, 46 through the air for Charles. 3rd and a long one here for Cleveland. Facing Kansas City, this Browns defense trying to come up with the stop. Smith will take the timeout. Play clock was down to 1.
Kansas City took the 2nd timeout. This
Kansas City has one timeout remaining.
They really took too much time in the huddle, taking their time, trying to take time off the clock. But when you got motion involved in the play, as they did that time, Smith with a smart move, looking at the play clock, seeing it running down, and knowing he had a timeout to use. The Browns got to be very encouraged at the quarterback position. Super afternoon. Jason Campbell, 21 of 35 for 284. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Rob Chudzinski talked about the confidence he has about him, the fact that the guys respect him. He brings intangibles. He stepped up the leadership. Can the Browns come up with a stop? 3rd and 1. The give. Charles. And Jamal Charles is short. On 4th down, what do you do here? Do you kick it for the 6-point lead? Or do you go for it with the idea that you can end the game?
Well, this is your answer. The field goal team coming out.
4th down and 1 from the Cleveland 22-yard line.
Wish you risked the chance of a blocked field goal.
Ryan Suckup.
Andy Reid looking at the clock. Take it down to about 3 seconds or so on the play clock and use a timeout.
22 seconds remain.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Ryan Suckup missed one from 52 yards away. Kansas City with a 20-17 lead. Right now is looking at a 40-yard field goal attempt. Rob Chudzinski's team will be home for Baltimore next week, then at Cincinnati. A couple of divisional matchups coming up for the Browns.
This will be a 40-yard attempt.
40-yarder. Gafford will snap it. Colquitt will hold it. Trying to give Kansas City a 6-point lead. Suckup with a field goal attempt. He splits the uprights. 23-17 now, forcing Cleveland to go the distance in 17 seconds.
Great hold by Colquitt. Low snap. He had to make the catch on the ground and get that ball on its point, and he did a perfect job. Did not disrupt the timing of Suckup at all.
Kansas City 23, Cleveland 17. How did we get here? Look at our game summary. It was 13-0, then the flea flicker. Campbell going with the deep ball to Gordon. McCluster's touchdown extends the Kansas City lead, but then Campbell answers on the pass to Whitaker. A muff punt return by Bess, who was in there for the injured Benjamin. That gave Kansas City the football back. And they've got a 6-point lead with 17 seconds to play. Whitaker is the deep man here for Cleveland.
Whitaker had an outstanding kickoff return last week for the Browns. He's going to need another one now.
See if Suckup puts all he's got into it. He does. No squib for Suckup. And a knee for Whitaker. So the Browns will have to go 80 yards. Jason Campbell, his first start in a Cleveland uniform. 21 of 35, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns against one of the fiercest defenses in the NFL.
This is where the Chiefs will be paying extra attention to Josh Gordon. They'll be playing very loose in the secondary. Both safeties now moving back to the 40-yard line. All 3 corners now playing very deep.
Playing with 7 defensive backs. 17 seconds to go. Browns have no timeouts remaining. Shotgun. Campbell to Gordon underneath. Gordon trying to get himself towards the sideline, and he'll be tackled inbounds. Clock is rolling. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. We're down to 5 seconds. Campbell. Time will run out on the Browns. The Kansas City Chiefs are 8-0. They remain undefeated. They had to sweat this one out against Cleveland. 23-17 the final. The Chiefs atop the AFC West.
On behalf of the entire Chiefs organization, we thank you for
the 24th all-time meeting between these two teams, and it's Kansas City
on Sunday
remaining perfect.
when your Chiefs face off against the San Diego Chargers.
Final score 23-17. All the scores and highlights coming up. The Subway postgame show for Dan Fouts, the rest of our crew, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from Kansas City. This has been the NFL on CBS. We'll check in with JB and the gang in New York after these messages.